Do you like playing your tube amps fully cranked and at a very high volume? Me too. But there is a couple of problems to that. First, they are extremely loud. And second, neighbors or family. For example, if you got a Marshall amp like that, you have to run it at a high volume or you have to crank it really up to make it sound really good. But I live in a house, I have neighbors all around me, and if I crank that thing up, they will get mad at me. So there are a couple of options to do that. First, play silently, but that's not an option in this case. Second one, you have to use something like this, a modeler, like the Helix HX Stomp, which is really great by the way, and play with headphones or play silently at home through an FR speaker or something where you can crank up the amp model in the Helix and you don't have to run your FR speaker at full volume. Or you can record your tube amp with a load box and run it in your DAW and play it through speaker monitors. But in order to do all that, you have to use either a cap simulation, like the Helix has built in, or you have to use impulse responses. So the topic of today's videos is IRs. I recently bought a bunch of IRs from York Audio. This video is not sponsored or anything. I paid full price for them, but I think they're really great. And so I thought I'd make a little video about it. And just recently I played a little bit around with my HX Stomp for practice or something, or I can play in the evenings with headphones on or in front of the TV when my wife is watching TV and I don't want to annoy her, so I put on the headphones and play silently. And I really like the Princeton model in the Helix, so I thought, why not take that Princeton model in the Helix and use a bunch of different IRs with it. The stock caps in the Helix are good. Some say they are not, but you have to tweak them a little bit to get a good sound out of them. But me personally, I like to run IRs through the Helix because for me personally, I think they sound better and I don't have to tweak as much. And with the York Audio IRs, it's even more easier. They supply different mixes and each of them sound really good, I think. So what I want to do today, we'll switch over to Helix Native and I'll show you the screen and show you my settings, and we'll run the Princeton model in the Helix, which is called US Princess. We'll run it through a bunch of different IRs and probably not the IRs that you think you might run a Princeton through. Yeah, so head over with me and on we go. All right, so now we're over in HX Edit, and before we start, I'll show you what cap packs I've bought. I bought the PRNC110 Aux Lite pack, which is the impulse response of a 1969 Princeton 110 with the original Oxford speaker. The second pack that I've bought was the DXVB pack, which is the impulse response of a 1966 Blackface Fender Deluxe Reverb with a 12-inch Oxford speaker. And the other two packs were a MRSH 412 M25, which is a 1976 Marshall checkerboard 412 cap with Celestion G12M 25 greenback speakers. And I've bought the York 212 M65 Cream, which is a custom York Audio 212 cap with a Celestion G12 65 Creamback speaker. So the two later ones, the 212 and the 412 cap pack, I've bought for my Marshall for the mini plexi for the SV20, and the Deluxe Reverb and the Princeton cap I've bought for the Princeton and the Deluxe Reverb model. Yeah, so we will go through these packs, and I'll show you now the preset that I've made in with the Helix. So what I've got pulled up here is I've pulled up the US Princess amp, which is of course the Princeton Reverb. I've got the drive on 5.7, the bass at 5.4, the mids at 7.0, the treble at 7.4. Presence I've turned off since the original amp doesn't have a presence control. I've got the channel volume at 8, the master on 10, the sag at 3.4, hum 4.4, ripple 2.8, bias 6.2, and the bias X at 5.0. Then for a cabinet, I've pulled up the one of the stock caps in the Helix. I'm using a dual cap. If you're not using dual caps on the Helix, you're missing something out. If you want to sound it real like a mic'd up amp, I think you should use the dual caps. So for the cabinet, I've used the 110 US Princess cap, since it's a stock cap that comes with the amp. I'm using a 57 dynamic, 1 inch, so close to the speaker. I've applied a low cut at 85 Hz and a high cut at 7.5 Hz and pulled up the early reflections. And the second mic is a 121 ribbon, also close, and low cut, high cut, same as on the other, and I've pulled up the early reflections. So the 121 and the 57 is a very popular mic combination, and we will have that one on all the cap packs of the impulse responses. After the amp, I've applied a low and high shelf EQ. This is a thing I've learned from Jason Seditis, or Seditis, I don't know how he's pronounced, but he's the guy that makes all the really good Helix tutorials. If you're not knowing him, I will link his channel up there. You should really check it out. And he's applying the low and high shelf. He's setting the frequency at 650 Hz, and he's below 650. He's applying a 2 dB cut, and above 650 Hz he's boosting the frequencies by 2.4. This is sort of tightens the sound a little bit. Yeah, after the cap, I've got a transistor tape pulled up. I don't know if we will use the delay, 500 milliseconds, 22% in the mix, just basically the stock settings. Then I put up a Hot Springs reverb, since I think this is quite good for the Princeton and the Deluxe reverb. Dwell at 5.3, spring count 3.0, low drip, low cut and high cut. You don't need them on this model, since we're not doing lots of high gain stuff. And a mix 20%, so it's not that high. And at the end, again, a thing that I've learned from Jason is I've put up a studio comp, a compressor with a peak reduction on 5 and a gain at 5, and the other settings are stock. This is sort of tightening also the sound and making it a little bit more processed. And in front of the amp, I've got a Scream 808, which is a tube screamer, for a little bit of drive, with the gain at 5.9, tone at 7, and the level at 6.2. I think these are basically the stock settings. So this is what this sounds like. And by the way, I'm playing a my thin line Tele, which was custom made by a really good customer for me, and this is really a great good guitar. So that was the neck pickup, middle pickup, and the bridge pickup. Alright, so now I'm going here to delete the stock cap, and I'm going to put up an impulse response block. And I'm also setting a low cut at 85 Hz and setting a high cut at 7.5K. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to play you all the mixes in the pack. I've chosen to use 3 mixes with every cap, the 57 and the 121 mix, the 421 and the 57 mix, and the 57 and the 160 mix. So I think these are the most popular mic combinations that are out there, and we'll start with the Princeton. See what this sounds like. So this is mix number 1 with the Princeton. This is the neck pickup. And a middle pickup. And a bridge pickup. So this is sounding really good, instant Princeton sound. Let's check the mix number 7. This is the 421 and the 57. And here we have mix number 3, which is the 57 and the 160. Should sound a little bit darker. Yeah, that also sounds quite good. I think I go back to the 57 and the 120 and apply a little bit of drive with the bridge pickup. Yeah, that's a really nice sound. So that is the Princeton cap, and I think if you want to go classic Princeton sound, this is definitely a really good IR to use. So the next thing where I want to go is I want to check out the Deluxe Reverb IR, and I also start with the 57 and the 121, and again on the neck pickup, and this is how it sounds. You can hear instantly that this is a bigger speaker, that it is not a 10-inch speaker but a 12-inch speaker. So this is what lots of guys do with their Princetons. They are using 12-inch speakers, or routing the cabinet of the combo a little bit bigger and put in a 12-inch speaker, or use an external speaker, so to give it a little bit of a bigger sound. So again, the 57 and 121 combination with the deluxe reverb. And a bridge pickup. And the 57 and the 160. And again, I'll put up the tube screamer with the 57 and the 121 combination. Yeah, this is also a really great sound. And you could use this definitely if you also want a classic Fender-y sound. And the IRs are really great for that cleanish tone. But now let's go to the little bit of the oddballs. So we'll go with the we'll now go with the 212 mix number 1. You can instantly hear that the sound is a little bit more rounder and not the edgy like Fender style tone. Yeah, but it's sounding really good. Let's try the 421 and the 57. And the 421 and the 160. All right, now let's try it with some drive. So I think this is a really great sounding cabinet if you want to go for a little bit more tones with more drive, or with a little bit more that have a little bit more rock sound to it. Let's go back to the first IR, the 57 and the 121. Yeah, really great sounding. So, and now let's try the 412 cab. And also we'll start with the 57 and the 121. Try this off. And the 421 and the 57, which is mix number 4. And the 57 and the 160. And it's probably my favorite cabinet with the Princeton, in fact. Let's put back the 57 and the 121 and add a little bit of the tube screamer. Yeah, this is this is my favorite cabinet combination, or my favorite cab with this Princeton model in the Helix. I've ended up using mix number 15 on this one, which is a 421 a modern mic and a 160 ribbon. So this is my favorite. I ended up using this as my favorite mic combination, and it's sounding like. Put up off the tube screamer. And with a little bit of drive. And a little bit of delay. So this was a quick rundown of the audio, of a little glimpse into 4 of the IR packs, and I think they're really great. If you want to check them out, I've linked them down in the description below. If you want, I can load up this Helix, this Princeton patch on the Line 6 page, so you can download it if you want it, and put your own IR in it, or use the stock caps if you want. What do you think? Do you like using different combinations of speakers that are not so common with your amps, or do you always stick to the caps that these models are associated with? I think there are lots of opportunities to change your sound or to shape your sound if you use other cabinets. So, and therefore the Helix or other modelers are really great, or amp modelers in your DAW. You can use caps whatever you want. Maybe you've got a Tweed Champ and you want to put a Mesa Rectifier 412 cabinet on it. If you think this sounds great, so why not? There are tons of possibilities out there, and I think with the impulse responses, or with the stock caps on these modelers, you have lots of opportunities. So yeah, let me know which cabinet sounded best to you, and if you have any questions or comments, please share them down below. I'll be happy to reply. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, or subscribe to my channel. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.